we've been going at almost 9 knots, so the Gulf Stream really has given us a boost. The last couple of hours have been pretty rough.
We're Chris and Sandra. We started America's Great Loop in July of 2023, but it all started in 2022 when we bought a boat we named That Away. On a foggy May morning last year, we said goodbye to Port Dover and headed down Lake Erie through the Welland Canal and onto Lake Ontario. We had a summer of fun boat projects and explored Lake Ontario and the famous Canadian Heritage Canal System, the Trent Severn Waterway. We spent the spring of 2023 overhauling the galley of That Away, and we took off in July, even though we have lots more to do. Join two not-so-young kids as we make our way around the 6,000-mile loop of North American waters.
That's it, because we're not standing in that line.
No.
We are as south as we're probably going to get for a little while.
Okay, text me as you get things onto buses and stuff, eh?
Yeah, and if you can remember to turn Nebo on at some point.
Great.
Not a huge deal because we're usually within texting, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye. I'm heading northeast up the Keys this morning. We've got some bad weather coming tomorrow, so we were going to go to Isla Medora, but we decided to push past that. We're starting to think about our Gulf crossing, and because we've got family flying down to help out with it, we want to make sure we're positioned and good to go a week from now. So we're going to push it today so that the bad weather doesn't affect us too much in our planning. So our goal is to get pretty close to the bay. Was it Biscayne Bay? We won't get there today, but we're heading in that direction. Had an early start, left Bahia Honda. Somebody can tell me how to pronounce that in the comments. I've heard so many different pronunciations of it. Left this morning just before 6:30 when it was light enough to see. So that meant I was in the Atlantic for the first hour, and hit a wave, but really not too bad. Nothing compared to what it was like getting there. The day that we got to Bahia Honda, had to tack like crazy because the waves were just not nice.
Long day on the water for Chris, but beautiful sunset.
Went pretty well.
How were the crab pots coming out of Marathon?
Not bad. On the ICW, they're just on the edges.
But you didn't snag anything this time, that's good.
I don't think so.
Wow, this is a beautiful spot. It's huge. So it's storm day, about 8 o'clock. Just felt a raindrop. Pretty calm here right now. Really, really calm night. It's supposed to heat up a little bit. We're off to Starbucks for coffee and to get laundry done. It's across the road. But I just wanted to show you how clear the water is up here in Key Largo. It's a little unsettling actually. We haven't been able to see the bottom since Georgian Bay. It's quite good, quite interesting. So here's the storm here in Key Largo. I am at Starbucks doing a bit of work and catch up. And Chris is on the boat. He says the anchorage is pretty flat right now, which is really good news. But we'll see what happens in the next little while. It's supposed to get a little bit worse.
So this is the storm we were expecting today. Winds over to 30 miles per hour. And it is quite windy. I don't know if you can make that out. The water's moving at a fair clip here. However, the boats are very stable at anchorage. Like, that's one of the boats there. You can see it's just sitting there. It's been very calm on board. We did have a moment of excitement because one of the magnets came loose on one of the panels, so I had to go up and take it off. Not too happy about that. I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So it just picked up. It's still, I mean, it's pretty active now. I'd say we've got, I don't know, 2-foot waves. It's nowhere near as bad as when we were in, I think it was Sarasota. You can kind of see that sailboats riding it pretty nicely.
So we had absolutely flat water last night at bedtime after that storm, and it was supposed to be not too bad this morning, but about 3 a.m. it really picked up, and it's calmed down again. But yeah, so the apps don't always predict exactly what's going to happen, but it's been not too bad. It's been a good holding. It was until about 3 or 4, maybe 5, we slept okay. Anyway, so a bit of a slower morning this morning because we weren't happy about taking the dinghy out about an hour ago. So anyway, we'll just carry on here. We're going to look at weather tonight and see about moving a bit further north tomorrow, perhaps. Time for coffee. It's all yours.
Yeah.
We are waiting for this wind to die down and to get ashore. And I'm in my happy place. I'm doing a puzzle. I've got this caddy that folds up and we can slip it away under somewhere. And I bought these puzzles about 7 months ago, and they're the tiniest little pieces. It's a 1,000-piece puzzle, but the finished bit is about this big, an 8.5 by 11. So I'm starting it, and I expect it's going to take me months because this is the first chance I've had in a few weeks to get started on it, even though I've just gotten the Porta puzzle caddy. So hopefully when our daughter comes to visit, she's a puzzler too, that I'll still be in the middle of this and we can do it together. So I really do want to get to shore, but I really like doing puzzles. So edges first. Chris went back for his bag, which he forgot. That was a bit of a bumpy landing, but it's nice to be off the boat. We were at low tide. We're going to pull the
dinghy in just a little bit more before we tie it off. So Chris got gasoline, but it's President's Day and the library was closed, so back to the boat. And it's just turned out to be a really beautiful evening. It's President's Day down here in the States, so that kind of threw a monkey wrench into my plans to be ashore today, because nothing was really open except grocery stores. But what a lovely, lovely end to the evening. And we're off tomorrow morning to Key Biscayne to get ready to stage to cross to the Bahamas. This is an absolutely gigantic manatee. It's probably the closest one that we've had a good view of. We've seen some along the side of the boat before. But he's probably, he's as big as our dinghy. 10, 12 feet maybe? Just hanging out here. A second ago he did a little breathing thing, which I gather they breathe every 20 minutes or so, maybe. And as Chris pointed out, there's a little bit of damage on his back. I'm not sure if that's just from age or natural causes, or if something went over him at some point, because it looks like there's a couple slashes. Amazing.
And then for a while it looked like it was trying to feed off stuff on the side of the dock underwater. I'm not sure. But you can see where it's been scarred up by propellers, eh?
Did you see the tail is all beat up?
Yeah.
How are you feeling about things?
Better today. A little bit more relaxed. The last couple of days have been stressful. Getting everything organized. Figuring out what to do about the solar panels. Hopefully we can salvage one or two of them.
Did it help to have that weather webinar thing with Chris Parker?
Huge. Yeah, well, I mean, all it did was reinforce our decision, but it's kind of nice
That is important sometimes.
and we'll have it for a month so we can start getting a sense of. I think the key is we need to actually listen to it, right,
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we're seeing a lot of Miami.
No.
This has been nice.
I mean, it's nice here at the waterfront. Like, there's a Ferris wheel. It's not as busy in the city as I thought it would be. I don't know, it felt a little bit like Atlanta, where we went downtown on the weekend and it was pretty dead.
It's busy on the water.
It's definitely busy on the water.
I think it would be very interesting to go up. Well, we are going to head that direction, I
Yeah,
guess.
up Miami Beach way.
But the amount of traffic here, I mean, this is probably one of the heaviest
Marine traffic areas we've been in.
recreational boat marine
Yes.
traffic.
Yes. Yeah, I would say commercial St. Louis takes the cake. That was a bit crazy through
And
there.
there's a fair bit of commercial and, commercial, right?
Well, sightseeing boats.
There's Carnival Magic. That's the Disney one, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some big cruise ships over there.
100 feet.
At least.
We have a better one that actually shows up on our display now. It's part of the NEMA 2K network.
Oh, you're within 0.2 feet of each other.
Yeah, this one it bounces around a lot more. This one's much steadier.
Okay.
When you get into funny terrain.
Did you check the dinghy?
I did that already.
Okay, all right.
Drained it.
Cool.
So I think that's about as much as we want to go through right now.
Okay.
We'll go through what we're actually going to do, getting off the dock. So these are the headsets Sandra was talking about. They're Bluetooth. The water line in, actually. Yeah. Or
All right, give you a kiss or you're gonna be jumping on, right?
Yeah.
Love you. Be careful.
Be careful.
Have fun.
Drive safe.
Yes.
You're going to have fun
It should be good.
in ways that I will not.
We're gonna get crystal clear water tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nicer. Chris will check the weather again in the morning, but
Okay, bell line's off.
to me, disembarking, like this part of it, is the most stressful because of all the other boats around. Once you're out in open water, it's a little bit nicer, less stressful.
Not yet. Okay. Now I'm on.
Risky move, but
Okay.
worked out.
Last line's off.
Bye, safe trip, you guys. Take care of each other. There they go. All right,
There you go.
let's hit the tiki bar. All right.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can find myself.
So are we up past our bedtime? Is that why it's closed?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to climb over it, but that seems like a lot easier. Oh, yes.
I think it's more for like bikes
And
stuff.
scooters and all that kind of stuff, yeah.
Okay, it's what time is it? It's 5 o'clock, and we've been underway for about 45 minutes. And I'm here with my brother Andrew. And last night we moved the boat from Crandon Marina to an anchorage that got us closer to our Bahamas crossing. And that took us about an hour. It's about 7 nautical miles. And that was a really nice night. There were lots of day boats out in the anchorage when we got there. And by the time we went to bed, there were really just 3 or 4 boats left who I would suspect were planning to do the crossing. But I think we may have been the first ones out.
Yeah, I think so.
So probably going to Bimini. So the sea state seems really good so far. Definitely got a bit of a roll going on. But it's swell. I'd say there's maybe a little bit of wind coming across our port bow quarter. And that's probably about it.
We've been watching the cruise ships come in this morning. 2 passed us already. We got another one off the starboard bow here at 45 degrees.
Yeah, I'm looking at our Navionics plot right now, and I can see 1, 2, 3, a lot of boats. A lot of boats. Yeah, that was a bit intimidating coming out of the channel out of Miami. Like Andrew said, we passed 2 cruise ships. The first one we were closer than the second one, and we got a bit of its bow wake. They put in a lot of bow wake. Anyway, I'll try and touch base a little bit later on and see where we're at. Hopefully when it's a bit later. Yeah, some of those waves are pretty impressive. We've been underway for about 3.5 hours, 3 hours, 37 minutes. And we've gone just over 30 nautical miles, 31 nautical miles. It just turned over, actually. That's where I'm looking. And we've been going at almost 9 knots. So the Gulf Stream really has given us a boost. The last couple of hours have been pretty rough. The wind was originally coming from our starboard, maybe our starboard towards the bow a little bit, and it's since switched to be coming right on the bow, which was expected. But as soon as that wind switch started, the sea state really got a bit confused, because we've had swells coming in from our front port quarter. And we're getting some more wave action coming from the front. It's led to a fairly rolly ride.
Yeah.
Would you say? There's no white caps, and it doesn't feel unsafe at all. It's just, we're really kind of bouncy. We had one drawer pop right out, so I'm going to be putting ball bearings back in when we get in. And we are carrying on. You got anything?
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful sunny day, right? Like Chris said, the seas were the trickiest, right, at about sunrise. So that was about 6:40. So you had the rollers competing with just the 2 feet waves. But if it continues on like this, we're about a third of the way there. Stays like this for the next 6 hours, it should be pretty straightforward right over to Freeport.
Yeah. So our original trip planner said that this was a 11 and a half to 12-hour trip. Since we've been in the Gulf Stream, it's pretty obvious it's a lot shorter. I'd say it's talking about cutting 2 hours off. So I don't know when we come out of the Gulf Stream on the other side, and I don't know how much that'll change our arrival time. But right now, we left at, I think we left at 4, just a little bit before 4, and it says we're going to get in at 2. So we could have slept a little longer. And I was going to film making breakfast, but
It was just a little too fancy.
a little too rough. And with this amount of rocking, I have to say, I really want to keep my eyes on the horizon, because when I was working at pulling things out of the fridge, definitely had a bit of an upset stomach. Anyway, well, I'm sure we'll talk again. So we're about an hour and a half out from the Bahamas. We're going to the West End to check in. And everybody tells me I have to fly a quarantine flag. So I'm going to put that up. Amazingly, these ropes have all tightened up since I did this job. There we go. So the US flag has been up, man, since sometime in August. And if I remember correctly, I read about how to tie this knot when I did it. So we had about 2 hours of pretty rough seas when the wind changed from north to kind of a southeast. And the rest since then have been really good. Right now, I'd say we've got less than 1 foot seas. And we haven't seen a lot of traffic, although there is some. Actually, now that I say that, I see about 2 or 3 boats on the horizon right now. Perfect. Hopefully they'll let us in the country, and then we'll put the Bahamas flag up. So I think I already said this, we're about an hour and a half from, I think it's the old Bahama Marina. I'll have to go check the name again. And we've got one night there, and Sandra's looking right now to see if she can get us somewhere in Freeport. And we'll head down to Freeport tomorrow because the weather looks good. See how long that flag lasts. The US flag was pretty beat up.
It's getting old.
What's that?
It was getting old. Okay.
Wow. Just kind of want to dive in, eh?
You got ice like summer sky.
Getting to the Bahamas on Thataway was one of Chris's dreams when we started the loop last year, and now that all 3 of us are here, Thataway, Chris, and me, we look forward to warm weather, clear water, and blue skies. We get all of that, but it's been a very windy winter, even according to the locals. Despite that, we anchor out more than ever and appreciate taking refuge from the wind at the many lovely marinas that have been rebuilt since Hurricane Dorian. We've learned a lot on this journey, but for me it's been an acknowledgement that boat life is what you make of it. And I don't have to experience it in a way that meets others' expectations of what our cruising life should be. To Together, Chris and I find the sweet spot in what each of us want to experience and what we are able to tolerate at any given time. Join us next week as we explore the Abaco Islands. We are working on some more lifestyle-centered episodes, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.